These fragrances may not be crowd pleasers, but they're truly unique and beautiful perfumes that I genuinely love. And if you're someone who is willing to venture out and experiment a little bit with some under the radar fragrances or fragrances that have previously been misrepresented, this is the video for you to watch because I'm going to be sharing with you 5 fragrances that I've rediscovered that I absolutely have fallen back in love with, and coincidentally, pretty much all of these fragrances will do really well in the cold weather. So if you're interested, definitely do keep on watching. But if this is your first time on this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I absolutely love perfumes and I talk about them here 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. And I also do have a TikTok and Instagram under the username ANECHKAFRAGRANCES if you're interested in seeing more content. Just so you know, my focus on here is to be very mindful about what I'm bringing into my collection, and inspired by that, I did create a fragrance expense tracker. If you're interested in that, you can download it down below. So yeah, this is going to be a video of mostly affordable fragrances, and I wouldn't say that's like super intentional, but these are perfumes that I've had in my collection for quite some time now, and when I was first getting into fragrances, I did not necessarily have a ton of money to spend, and I would go for the fragrances that were kind of like under the radar, and I was experimenting with a lot of perfumes that were like gourmand, perfumes that were like celebrity scents, just different ones entirely. And since I've been doing my declutter, I've been reintroducing myself to a lot of these perfumes. Like some of them are vintage perfumes, some of them are like, you'll see in just a bit. And I've actually decided to keep these perfumes in my collection because I love them so much. So I'm really interested in seeing what you guys have to think about some of these fragrances because I haven't talked about some of these in a really long time. I'm going to start off with something controversial. Kim Kardashian's Pure Honey. Yes, one of my favorite perfumes in my collection is Kim Kardashian's Pure Honey, and I actually do think it's rather excellent. What you might not know about this perfume before you start criticizing Kim Kardashian in the comments is that this fragrance, the nose behind this perfume, is Claude Deer, like one of the most renowned perfumers in the space right now. He is known for creating masterful gourmand fragrances, and this is a beautiful interpretation of honey with honeysuckle as well, and a bit of an ambery base. This is stunning. So this perfume has notes of freesia, mandarin blossom, and red rose at the top, a mid of beeswax, honey, honeysuckle, and orchid, and then a base of coconut, vanilla, and musk. This to me is very vintage inspired. It does not smell like your modern interpretation of honey at all, and this perfume I believe was released in 2000s, so that might have something to do with it. But it's funny because when I was on TikTok, or I'm still on TikTok, but when I was like really focused on TikTok, I would rage bait people with this perfume. I'd be like, this is the best perfume ever, knowing that people would criticize that video, and then I would come out and say, this perfume was created by Claude Deer, you know? And it's interesting because just because like a perfume looks a certain way and is packaged a certain way and has a certain celebrity behind it, doesn't mean that it is a bad fragrance. It's still created by a nose, and that nose, usually they know what they're doing. And in this case, they absolutely created an amazing fragrance that I genuinely love. And this is like a perfect like honey fall perfume. If you like gourmands but you don't want to smell like explicitly like a dessert, this is actually really good. It's very like, it's like honey drizzled florals. It's beautiful. It's so, you smell like the honeysuckle nectar, especially in the opening. I rather love this one, and I'm so glad I rediscovered it. So I actually will be wearing this more now that I have it. And yeah, I have like this huge bottle, but this is available for like less than $20. It's amazing how inexpensive this amazing perfume is, in my opinion. So let's talk about a true vintage. This perfume was created in 1992, and it's one of my favorite perfumes in my entire collection. I have considered getting a backup of this because of how much I rely on this fragrance and how much I love it. This is Casimir by Chabaud. I love this perfume. And here's the thing, right? My taste when it comes to fragrances, like I don't always want to smell like your quintessential gourmand, like super vanilla. I want to smell sometimes edgy, and I feel like wearing vintage perfumes is a great way to do that. This perfume is actually a vanilla fragrance that has a lot of powderiness to it. But this fragrance has notes of peach, coconut, mango, bergamot, and fruits at the top, a mid of geranium, jasmine, florals, and lily of the valley, and then a base of vanilla, amber, sandalwood, musk, patchouli, and woodsy notes. This perfume, to put it very simply, it smells like an old-fashioned peach tart. And I will say this is one of the more comforting fragrances in my collection. Something about it smells very comforting to me, and I have literally worn this in stressful situations. I've worn this when I've been sick. I've worn this when I've gone to the when I've had my car towed. I've like literally I've worn this when I've had those situations where I just want to feel like a cozy hug. This is that perfume for me, and I genuinely love it. Again, if you want something that's like a little bit gourmand, but you don't want like what we're seeing with gourmands like right now, and don't get me wrong, I love gourmands, but sometimes I want something a little bit different, but with sweet notes. This is really good. Like when you see the notes, like don't think like your brain might go towards like a more modern interpretation of coconut and mango. Don't go there. Think of a vintage inspired or a vintage fragrance with those notes, and then you'll get an idea as to what that smells like. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And look at this dent. Yeah, that's how you know I love it. Because I use this up, and yeah, I have like a, this is like 100 milliliters, and look at this. Yeah, I love this perfume. Next is a perfume I literally do not talk about, and I'm trying to change that. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance, again from 1992 by Slava Zaitsev. This is essentially um, a woody, animalic, powdery fragrance. It's kind of peppery. It's not for the faint of heart. You have to like animalic perfumes to like this one. If you don't like animalic perfumes, don't go for this. I'm sorry, you will not enjoy this. But this has top notes of aldehydes. Yes, you have to like aldehydes as well. Orange blossom, peach, and bergamot, and mid of carnation, ylang ylang, tuberose, heliotrope, and iris, jasmine, rose, orchid, lily of the valley, and then a base of civet, sandalwood, amber, benzoin, and vanilla with musk, tonka bean, and cedar. That is a big scent pyramid. And this is a very interesting fragrance. Very aldehydic, animalic, powdery. Again, you have to like those in order to like this. But to me, this reminds me kind of my childhood. Yeah, I really do like it. I like this one a lot. And it's different. You won't smell anything similar to it. And it's pretty inexpensive. It's still available online, even though it's been discontinued. You just have to do a little bit of hunting to get to it. And if I find any of these fragrances on Amazon, I'll link them. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Again, this is the name, in case you're interested. This is Marusia, again by Slava Zaitsev. I know that a lot of times you guys ask for me to include the names in the videos. Sometimes when it comes to editing, I can't be bothered. Also, my computer overheats every single time I do anything besides like just splice up a video. And also, here's the thing, if I put the names of the fragrances in the description box, I've noticed that my watch time goes down, and I make money off of you guys watching my videos. And if my watch time goes down, all my work generates me less money. So I do this 5 times a week. I do videos for you. You guys don't have to pay for them. I only ask that you watch the videos, and sometimes that involves me just putting the names of the fragrance brands instead of the actual fragrances themselves, because I would appreciate it if you watched the video. So next perfume, let's go into the mega animalic territory with Elizabeth Taylor Passion. Let me pull up these notes. I know that this also does have the note of civet in here. Again, civet is a note that gets a lot of like, it gets a lot of dislike. People do not like civet at all. And I understand why, because it's definitely not going to be a perfume like note that you find often in today's fragrances, and I get if people are not used to it, but I actually do like it. Will I wear it every day? No. Is the note of civet something that I think will be for everyone? Absolutely not. But if you want to experiment a bit and you're interested in smelling more animalic, if you already love leather and you want something that like goes like this, then this is an interesting one to try. And it's also not that expensive too. So we have top notes of aldehydes, coriander, gardenia, artemisia, ylang ylang, bergamot, lily of the valley, spicy notes in the middle, sandalwood, honey, tuberose, patchouli, heliotrope, orris root, cedar, jasmine, rose, and then a base of incense, civet, leather, oak moss, coconut, sandalwood. I'm just going off of memory at this point because this keeps refreshing, and musk and cedar. Yeah. So essentially, this is a heavy hitting fragrance. It's not for the faint of heart. It was originally released in 1988. It's a strong perfume. I don't spray this if I'm going into the office, I'll tell you that. I only spray this if I know I'm going to either be outside or if I'm home by myself and I just want to wear a fragrance that I love myself. This is a perfume I wear for me. I don't wear this to impress other people because it can be a bit of a polarizing perfume, but I really do love it. Next up is a perfume that's definitely on the cheaper side, but this is a fun one. Oh my gosh, I love it. This smells like a Barbie doll head, and you might be like, what is she talking about? But this is Rasha by Al Rehab, and this has notes of rose, amber, jasmine, saffron, and oud. This to me smells quite similar, like not super similar, but kind of similar to Gucci Guilty, or no, Gucci Rush. Gucci Rush, if you're familiar with that perfume. This smells kind of similar to it, and if you've ever smelled that perfume, something about the way they do the rose and amber smells like very plasticky, very plasticky, but very feminine. It's so weird, but very interesting. Definitely try Gucci Rush, or just get this perfume. This little fragrance is like less than $10. It's, yeah, if you're interested in smelling like different, if you're interested in venturing out, try this out. It doesn't cost a lot of money. But yeah, I really like this one. But this is not for the faint of heart. This is if you literally want something different. But yeah, all five of these perfumes, I don't want to say they're not blind buy worthy, because to be honest, most, if not all of these fragrances can only really be bought blind. They're not perfumes with readily available decants. They're not fragrances that everyone is aware of, but they're just perfumes that I have found over the years and genuinely fallen in love with. So with this video, I'm just going to say, if you like any of these fragrances or you like the way I describe them, maybe watch a few other videos from some other content creators, read some reviews online, cross-reference always. Please don't rely on just my opinion to get a perfume, please. Because I don't want to be responsible for you not liking a fragrance. I want you to look at other people's reviews and feedback and then come to your own conclusions. Um, but yeah, like generally, I think all five of these fragrances are ones that are going to stay in my collection for a very long time. I do love them all. I think they're really unique, and yeah, I hope this video also inspired you to be a little bit more adventurous when it comes to your perfumes. Don't just go for what everyone else is telling you to buy. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this entertaining, and I'll see you next time. Bye.